So this might look familiar to you,
Yes.
but it's not what you think it is.
It's a bug. What do you mean it's not what I think it is?
But it's not a bug.
It's not a bug? That looks like a bug to me.
Yes, but it's not gonna be. You kind of have a take on things like no one I've ever worked with. You know, you got that unique cartoon brain. So this is just a start. I don't want it to be a bug. I want it to be some cartoon, custom cartoon hot rod. We played twice with Volkswagens,
Yeah.
and I want it to be a little different.
Okay.
I want supercalifragilistic expialidocious. That's what I'm looking for this time.
Okay.
For me, it's all about getting people out of the place they're comfortable, where they exist, and into the land of the free thinkers. Normally, I'd ask you to just sketch something, right?
Right.
Okay, but we're gonna do a little more sculpting this time.
Okay.
Less of this and more of this.
I'm down for that. I'm down to get out of my comfort zone and, ditch the pens and pencil.
I'm thinking, wild show car,
Low,
more art than function.
chopped,
All about the look,
crazy,
presentation,
different.
but it's gotta start somewhere. And I know I want this windshield down low, like maxed out. Like when you see this thing coming down the road, you're like,
Dang, what is that?
or what's wrong with that guy? And I got a bunch of saw blades. Let's get to it. Self-leveling goggles. Just keep the bubble in the center.
So I have to look cross-eyed?
Look at that, it's art.
Oh, there you go. And you don't want to mark that with anything?
Can we just mark it?
I gotta say, it's pretty darn satisfying to be cutting that up.
You know what the hard part is?
Putting it back together?
Exactly. You got $1? You got any money?
What do you want $1 for?
Dollar bill, yo.
I got a 5.
That works for me. Thanks. See the man at the door. I'll show you the.
It's the oldest magician trick in the book.
I want to make the windshield the old dollar bill trick. That much.
Okay.
I don't know where the dollar bill windshield size ever came from, but I can only think that I heard of it at some car show. The old guys talking about a chop. Man, that was so radical. His windshield was smaller than a dollar bill. If you got a dollar bill size windshield, right, somewhere in that direction, it's pretty interesting to look out of. You're not seeing a lot. You go smaller than that. That's where I want to be. That's pretty substantial chop. Well, that's not messing around.
I mean, it looks freaking cool.
I think I want to see it with the mystery element, the thing you weren't expecting.
Okay, what is that?
Aha!
What is that?
It's a shower stall.
Looks like an amusement park ride.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. So now sit back and look at this. Does it look like a bug anymore?
No.
Oh no, soldier down. We're losing Johnny. I better reel him back before we veer too far off course. Here, this might sweeten the deal a little. These are a little bigger than the stock bug rims.
Yeah. Those are fatties.
I said it before, said it a million times. There's nothing like the wheel and tire combo to shine that guiding light on any project.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Maybe
We're stacking parts. It's starting to have a feeling.
fenderless. I like the wide tire. Or are we doing fenders?
We're 3 steps into this. I already fleeced you for $5. Let's not rush things.
Very true.
We still got to change everything.
Right.
But other than that, we're on a pretty good course. Ladies and gentlemen, we've taken the first step in a journey of 1,000 miles. Looking at it at this point, we know it's got to go lower. Oh, look, now you're getting into the small change.
Yeah. I got smart. You took my 5.
Oh, yeah, no, we still got plenty of room. We still got 2 inches to go. Now you've done it. So we gotta cut the roof in the center and widen it 3 inches to match up. While you're doing that, I'm gonna set up the van roof for a 3-inch narrowing. My favorite styling period for cars is that Art Deco, right? The waterfall from the top to the fenders to the ground. That's why I started with this Bug, because it has the building blocks for that style. I don't think we're gonna end up with like a masterpiece just from the get-go, right? We're gonna look at something, we're gonna take it back, it's gonna be up and down, side to side. It's gonna be a mess, it's gonna be fun. Who cares what it looks like along the way?
I must have missed it.
Ready? Chaos, disorder. You know what? We might use this back window flange when we widen that front windshield.
Oh, yeah.
Same molding, right?
Yeah, the arc is the same too on the back.
Looking at this rear flange, it looks well within the realms of possibility. I mean, we all know there's been much more absurdities than that in this shop. And that's 3. One last look from afar. Looks good. Aha! Roll this up and out a bit.
Look at that. That's pretty close.
Prepare to weld. It's textbook, right? It's the old back flange in the front trick, the upside down and backwards trick. Same as the flip it, slap it, reverse it trick. You'd be surprised at how often it works. Say, that's quite the chop top.
Yeah, dude.
Just what the doctor ordered.
For sure.
It's our windshield, sir.
I think it looks perfect.
The windshield height is pretty much where we're at. So just getting that in place. Do we like that front view? All right, let's move on. The big benefit of fiberglass in this project is we're going to be able to build, cut back, without ever actually having like a final surface represented for just about till the end of the project. So just envisioning all the time. And I love the wedge chop in the door frame now.
Right?
We'll jig it up, we can glass it right there. And once it's one piece again, we can always shift it a little bit more. But I see a couple big hurdles to jump with the back of this car. This is pretty complex. The top was my first piece, that I wanted to work with. I got some other fiberglass also. Check out these 2 rear fenders. Legit.
Oh, wow.
With the flare, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to pretty much like reshape the whole back of this thing. This was a quick mod. This is way dimensional and nothing lines up.
For sure. For sure. We got to keep that flow coming back the way it's going to look right.
Johnny says he's got some ideas for the rear of this thing, and this is a free mock-up zone. All mock-ups, all the time. All ideas are welcome.
All right.
Uh-huh.
And you like the old, ambulances? The doors were on an angle. When they hinged, they kind of hinged outward.
Oh, yeah, so they slammed
There was an
open.
angle
Yeah.
to the back of those ambulances. These will be one piece that'll tuck in through that fender gap.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That bottom
so
line.
the whole back of the vehicle is open. I love this.
Yeah.
It's like flowing away. Like that.
That is cool.
Johnny's idea solves a few things, namely the largeness of the rear of the engine. It helps with the angle of the car. It looks a little more aggressive leaning forward like that. The next thing is to define a few of the lines in the rear. By cutting that apart and reconfiguring it, we're gonna have to come up with some side panels to blend it all together. You wanna get on your head leveling gear, or do you think we could just freelance this?
I think we probably could freelance it.
You can put your levels on.
I've worn those goggles enough.
You can put your levels on it anytime.
You got your laugh, pal.
I like it. If you could do that on mirror image on the other side, we're on to something. The whole thing here is to just get this into one piece, get rid of all the big holes and missing parts of the car, get a clear side profile, and then move forward. But looking at the rear fenders, I can see we've got way bigger fish to fry. This is a perfect example of how this car is going to come together. We're going to try to cut right to the chase. Quick mock-up, make it stick, move on. Back forward again. Right there, sir. Let me cut a few strips of metal, and then we'll clamp this.
Okay.
This is where this design will depart from that 30s styling, which was very sensible, very glamorous. We have all of these shapes that have been formed. We're moving them around, and they're gonna have to be reoriented. The way that the tires will be arranged with the fender lip. This is going into that edgy, weird, definitely looking forward from the 1930s. Interesting how messy that all looks. To create this armature, like the old suit of armor with the faceted panels, the whole idea is creating a compound curve in the simplest terms. That way we can lay this fiberglass on and keep it suspended while it cures. I just want to get a representation of this arch on the fender, and I want to get into the nose, because you think I had some screwball parts so far. Wait till you see what I'm thinking about for the front.
All right.
Another fine mess you've gotten us into, Johnny.
Dude.
That is substantial. That's a 6-inch wider fender.
When you started doing it, I'm like, I don't know, how's it gonna work?
Interesting. What you can do with some foil tape, an old fender, 500,000 screws, and some spray paint. I want to do all the fiberglass in the same realm, the same time period. Let's mock up this front. I got a pretty wild idea for the front, but the flared fenders are definitely a part of it.
This whole time, the way we've been looking at this, I'm like, what are we gonna do at the front? What's going on here?
Time's upon us. I gotta spill the beans and reveal the rest of my mystery elements. Ta-da!
Yeah, that's just Volkswagen. I thought we were getting the Volkswagen out of it.
You know that saying where how can you find your mind unless you've lost it first?
Okay.
So how can you build something that's not a Volkswagen without having a Volkswagen first?
He's messing with me. He's telling me, listen, you gotta lose your mind, and I'm trying to lose my mind. This is just a base. Settle down, Johnny. Everything's gonna be fine.
Look at these fine units, right? This way of working isn't for the faint-hearted envisioner. It's gonna take mucho gusto to see through to the end result.
I mean, there's definitely some good jumping off point shapes like we did to the back end.
No, I know what you're saying. As much of a timeless classic design, and just what more could you want out of that VW front end? I want a little different. Check this out. I got these. First piece is from Speedway.
Here we finally get a piece of hot rod parts that we're gonna put on this thing. Now we're going where I was hoping we were gonna go.
Now, does that look like a PT Cruiser? No. Does it look like a Volkswagen Bug? No. I want this thing to be total departure from the Bug look. Look how it fits the curve of the VW.
It does.
hood.
I mean, it does have some really cool shaping to it. I mean, this really does. The flow of this really flows with what we've created.
The same sedan delivery, it had this hood, which is a totally different style. But I just chopped the top of this off. See, these two, they could be spliced to go together. It could work. This is why I never showed Johnny or talked to him about changing the grill, because I wanted this kind of wake-up call, right? He's like, where is this going? That's what I was looking for. I don't know, Johnny, you tell me.
It definitely goes more towards that old sedan delivery look that we kind of captured in the back.
Yeah, exactamento.
I mean, I'm totally seeing this.
Section A, where it's a flow with segment B.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm totally down with no headlights. I'm like, yeah, eliminate all the headlights. No headlamps whatsoever.
Here, open this.
And then he hands me headlights.
Look at that gem. Before we commit to a complete headlight delete, I brought out a few pieces for consideration. They're definitely small, but
Yeah, dude. They're all the same shapes. Triangular in the grill, triangular in the hood, and then the triangular in the lights. It's the same shape.
we can go multiple directions with this headlight situation. We're just gonna keep it on and see what happens. You know, the initial layout is here, and that's what I asked you to come by for, like the concept, right? I needed that cartoon brain to work with me, and I mean, this thing's way out of proportion. You know, I'm gonna put my twist on a few things, but I think Johnny and I have a strong representation of where this is going.
It's the funnest part of collaborating with you is just bringing out these crazy ideas.
I knew that your time was gonna be pretty strict, and you see the amount of work it takes time-wise just to mock up what we did.
Right.
So
I like everything about it. I just don't like the fact I have to leave.
I think you should feel a lot better that you don't have to stay for the remainder of this.
Why, sure.
Quite frankly, I'll go to Florida,
Yeah.
I'll put on my work clothes, and you can handle all this. Don't take off that thinking cap just yet. We're getting in deep now. Been making some progress, you know, the filling out of the running board area under the doors totally works. Johnny and I were talking about the chop top on this. We laid that roof panel in place, and it was all kind of up in the back. I brought it down a few inches, and that level, you know, it looked better. So I started to get into that door frame, and I slanted the B-pillar. You know, it has that type of Merc lead sled feel to it. I went that route, and really just started thinking, you know, in the look of it, like, could it be different? Could it be better? Is this really what I'm building, a station wagon? One thing I really love is I'm not afraid to change my mind about things. This is the way I roll. Like, no matter how deep you get, I'm always open to it. Like, well, what if, you know? I had to take the fiberglass roof cap off to do all this structure. It's way easier to reach in and do the welding and whatnot. Man, when I took the fiberglass roof off, it was a whole different car. I looked at the car and I was like, that thing looks fast. It looks so different. That big shape up here was not doing anything for the car. Look at this, like coupe roof. You know, it's almost like a Zephyr where it comes up and then bubbles up again. I forgot that I left the rear window frames in place. And when I looked at that with the slanted B-pillar, I was kind of knocked out. I wasn't expecting it. One thing I know is you can always go backwards on things, right? I just got this itch that needs scratching. The van roof, the wagon thing, it looks pretty cool, but what if? I had this idea, a revelation. This is a Dodge. I think it's about a 37, 38, 39, I don't know. And when I saw it, of course, I fell in love with this, you know, the giant sloping back. They're always my favorite body styles. I love this split window. It's a pretty unique vehicle. I don't want to do measuring. I don't want to do thinking about nothing. I want to cut this apart, place it on that bug. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Either way, if it doesn't fit that car, this car is on its way to a fresh chop top. It's a win-win. You might not believe me when I say I don't take a lot of measurements, but I don't really take a lot of measurements. That's how I roll. It's crazy how a car this big looks all structure, like a battleship, but it's just flimsy sheet metal in these elaborate arched shapes. Look at that thing. Ooh, it looks like a ghost ship. All right, all my grandiose ideas have led up to this. What we have here is considered a clean slate. Anything could happen from this point. That's nasty. That's just looking for trouble, this car. Holy guacamole. I think the Dodge designers had some inspiration from them VW designers. It's a match. A little of this, a little of that. I mean, look at this, right? Bang. Talk about a natural. Do you see the way that this convoluted brain works? Now, can you finally understand why I can't sleep at night? This came out way cleaner than I ever thought it would. Literal shot in the dark, right? It's a perfect fit. Truly lucking out. I think this is why I had that urge, because something deep inside said, do it. And I done did it. So this Type 3 engine is what I had planned for the van, but you see how far it's stuck out of the back. Type 1 will allow this deck lid to go on. Everything will be all right. This is working. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. So these are the 3 pieces I'm working with. The original deck lid from the Dodge, this forward piece of the roof skin, and of course the rear piece of the roof skin. I want that kind of coupe feeling. I don't want it to be the fastbacks. Those back windows are unidentifiable in the Volkswagen world. I might even leave the Dodge emblem on the back just to really concern people. Every project needs some breakthroughs, and that's just what I got here. Next thing is to get this rear end figured out. I gotta tell you, this Dodge roof was a pretty solid donor. After all the trimming and fitting and everything, you can see, look at this contour. You know, it's still just very roughly tacked in place. You really notice it with the chop now. See this hard kind of transition? The VW dome comes up. It's a lot more in this area. This broad, flat plane really adds to the chopped look of the whole thing. The interesting thing about the car is in photos, it's gonna look awesome, right? Until you walk up on it, it's like, what? This thing's miniature. It seriously seems smaller every time you look at it. Next step is making that connection between the back windows and the roof skin to the deck lid. Got a good start on it, just gotta connect the dots. I've been using this same process of these strips through the whole project, and it works pretty well for this part of it too, even though this is all steel and getting welded together. To create this in one piece of steel will be pretty complex without a buck or anything to work off of, so using these strips, it allows me to create this flowing surface from this very flat glass into the deck lid, but then blend down so you have that waterfall effect that you see on all the Art Deco cars, you know. This roof swap might have been way late in the game, but I think it's much better for it. I just don't want to hear a bunch of PT Cruiser jokes. That's what it comes down to. Getting this fleshed out, I mean, it's gonna work. The coupe thing was sort of just a last-minute swap out of everything. So, you know, getting these 2 panels rough mocked up, I think it's gonna flow. Gonna need some kind of ventilation for the engine. That's kind of where I'm at next. This car actually had this stainless steel firewall you see a lot. Cut this out and take a look. I don't know, like if you get a little curve both ways. That's pretty slick. See the difference in reflective value? See how it's up here? So once that's painted, you're gonna have, man, such a smooth car, and then you run into this field of wavy things. Nothing worse than a field of wavy things. So we got this as well. This is the original VW vent. It already makes the sound like it belongs there. Sometimes offering up different parts doesn't really flow with the project per se. Custom might not always be the best answer. Reimagining some of the factory stampings kind of helps it flow a bit better. Decisions. See, these are flat, right? So it's like, if I put louvers there, it's gonna mess with the overall flow of that line, guaranteed. You got that when you want. What if it was up here? I would say it, but it goes without saying. That settles it. Let's get out the cutting materials. Part of using these stock vents also adds to the mystique. It's like, I don't identify that rear window as VW, but the vents are just like a VW. What's going on there? Aha! I will remove one worthless piece of sheet metal and replace it with another worthless piece. Ta-da! That's what I'm looking for. That works. This is where the fusion really takes place. You got the clearly identifiable VW vents in the same position as they would be on the Bug, but with a Dodge back window and roof. This is coming in. This looks a little bulgy now. I could tailor this, and that's really what I'm getting to is the final bits of modifications. having this roof at such a different attitude, so all of a sudden the nose looks gigantic. The nose looks like it's pointing up into that sky. Again, it's not something I saw until I saw it. It's like the hood is like that, and the rest of the car is like that. It needs to be a happy medium. One of those big points from the mock-up with Johnny was this kind of shark nose appearance that the hood is having. It's always been kind of up, kind of snooty, and I want it to look a little down. That's exactly where this needed to go. Just a little bit down. Gotta say, this is feeling exactly like I was hoping. It's got the flow, it's got the windows, it's got the rake, it's got the nose, rims, tires. Everything's looking good, man. It's not like any Volkswagen I've ever seen before. That was kind of the goal. It's a lot of finishing work, but it's almost there. The car will tell you what to do, right? So far, this thing's been tight-lipped. It ain't telling me nothing. It doesn't even know what it is. It's like, I thought I was a custom Volkswagen. Nope, the car's not saying a thing. I don't know. It's gonna take a little bit of thinking. This project's been a good example of the adaptability of fiberglass forming. Aha! We literally threw the kitchen sink and a bunch of other stuff at it and, gooed it all together to a refined finish. With everything pulled out from underneath, no one else will know what happened, except you and I. Pretty much it. I think I'll just do a little fill-in and undercoat these. Once I got the underneath cleaned out, I got the exterior refined, and this thing's looking like a whole different specimen. This is the point I was trying to get to. All that thought, the radical change from the station wagon to this, I am stoked. I think this typifies like my style, right? It's cartoony, it looks like a big toy. Got these radical proportions. I mean, dare I say, it's got a bit of a street rod feel to it, It's all smooth, there's no fender welt, it's all blended together, there's no drip rails. It looks like a big plastic car. It is a big plastic car, who am I kidding? It's low, it's nose down. It's almost not a Volkswagen. A nice little weekend project to just pass some time with a friend. And here we are, no fingertips, 500,000 sheets of sandpaper. Eric and I are back at the shack. I want to get right into it. You can see why I got you out here because, look at this potential, man. What you see on the floor there, from the seat to the transaxle, the idea is it's pure sculpture. What is it?
This is why I'm here?
100%, just a raw...
So we came all this way to go, yeah, you're on the right track, continue.
Well, almost.
It's just meat and motor.
The hot rod formula. What we have here are the basic building blocks for a Trike. A Volkswagen engine, transaxle, and pretty much wide open space for anything else. Like the Ed Roth thing with the seat right up there, the engine behind, and then it's just expression after that. I don't want to build anything that we've seen before. No holds barred, dude.
Oh my God, look at the blank space that we get to work with. It's just this blank canvas that we get to do whatever we want. We got cool elements, and that's it. Anything goes. There's no rules, especially in Ian's shop.
This is a freak sculpture abstract thing. It's made for that.
Oh, come on.
Perfect. You've heard of deep dish rims, but these are the deepest of all dishes.
Thank you.
These rims are so wide, you have 18 inches of rim per side. That's 3 feet of rubber hitting the road. Here, take a seat, man.
Perfect. I'm liking it. Feeling good. Feeling good. Feel right.
Oh, look at this. This is good.
Yeah.
I think I'm setting up the game pretty good here. This is the beginning of that monster mobile I've been envisioning. I like it.
I take so many pictures, I'm on somebody else's phone taking pictures.
I told you I got the hookup, man. In order for Eric and I to get this project in motion, we took a ride to the big city to get some supplies. These hoops are straight out of Compton, man. A&M metal forming. I love it. 2-inch tube, 1/4-inch wall on edge.
Diamond. Chicks dig diamonds.
So let's split one and see what we got. Just experimenting on my own, I was messing around with my tubing bender and I put square tubing in the round tube die and I was like, whoa, it looks like a diamond. But something this massive, 2-inch square quarter wall, I needed some special equipment. The guys down there, South Central, they handled it.
Oh, come on.
Like these join, right? Blink. Up, 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 up. Yeah, dude, right there. Let's hang those from the ceiling.
Yep.
A good mock-up comes in many forms. One of my techniques is the old ratchet strap from the ceiling. A little of that, a little of this. A trick as seasoned as the roof itself. It's been said that I work by the seat of my pants sometimes, and this is called working from your ratchet strap. Look at that, let go of those babies.
Stay.
It's got to come more vertical on these tubes.
Yeah, because this,
Get it out your skull.
bang, bang, head wound.
Not that it would bother you, but some people.
Well, no brains, no headache, man.
There it is, that's our height. This was what was in my head, you know? We could do anything from here, but I wanted that arch over the rider, you know?
Yeah, no, it's,
I was initially thinking 4 tubes, not 2. Almost like a pyramid, right? Like 4 sides, but then they twist and come forward.
what if we did 3? Because I think 4 might be too many. Or we'll do a hoop over this and come down right through the center.
I agree.
Bring the 3rd one up from the center.
Yes.
And just tie it right in.
That's
Because
the
I mean,
key.
minimalistic is possible. So you'll have your 3 points, your diamond, right down.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I like it. That's the thing about a good collaboration. You know, when you're grooving, you're in sync, you double the horsepower of your creative mentality. This brace is maxed out,
Yeah,
the
I
roof's
know.
starting to sag. Oh, that's terrible. It's got to come way down. We got to relax that curve.
Yeah, I think we need more.
So it's as if everything was swinging up and in. Before this contraption brings the roof down, I asked Eric to dig around, find some material to make a stand to really support this unit.
That might help that situation.
We're cutting the tube for the backbone on this because the same radius coming from a same point will have a different arc reaching different locations. The end result we're looking for is like you got your tight curl, and as it spirals out, it'll be a wider contour, more of an ellipse. I think if we put an 1/8 inch shim in each one, it might give us the radius we need,
That was gonna be my question next.
Hold this. Aha! So that's gonna go there. Stand back and look at that radius. That looks like it belongs.
Oh yeah.
Just that little bit.
Let me see your arms. Other way. Oh God. Yeah, this one. What do you think of that? Lightning bolt. Bang, 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 bang. Lightning bolt. It's your toy.
Ooh.
Lightning.
Oh yeah, no, just like we're cutting these, we slash cut the pipe and it rises out, down,
Yep.
and back.
Bang, bang, bang. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
The lightning bolt tattoos for Ian are kind of like when he's working on things, it's just lightning, it's electricity going from his brain down his arms, into his hands, and into his hands is the electricity and the creative spark to like create these things that not a lot of people can. You know, if we can incorporate that into his trike, why wouldn't we?
Here, you hold that for a second.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take a look. Ooh. Looks like a football mascot or something. Did we just build that hedgehog, you know?
Yeah.
Look at this. It's got to go down the back.
Yeah, it's got to go down in the back a lot.
Three-dimensional reality is pretty much everything to me. On paper, it's like, oh, heck yeah. You put that thing up on the bike at our first try, and we're like, ooh, maybe not.
What if we took this and brought it forward?
Oh, make this shorter.
Yeah. I'm not feeling this going out here because I think it takes away from this.
I see what you're saying, so that this looks like it's landing on this surface.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to close these again, make this radius even tighter.
Okay.
Maybe we put that up here. Yeah. And then it goes down right into like this is the fork.
This is the fork. Yeah.
See, that's a monster movie. That thing is coming for you.
There,
And then
thank
the
you.
forks go whoop.
Oh, I like that. We kind of moved the bolt around a couple times on the trike because in the back it just wasn't fitting. As soon as that got put up there, this thing said straight out without saying a word, "Finish me now." And cool.
The mock-up process prevails. You know, we started off a little over here, a little over there, found a place where it was agreeable, and man, standing back on it, I gotta say, that's savory. There it is. Yes, it's totally stupid. It's awesome. We're not gonna have suspension in the front, but I'm allowing for a little wiggle. Just allows a little bit of flex in all this steering knuckle. This will be compressed almost 100%. So it's like VW, Harley, go-kart. 3 great tastes that taste great together. My brain is on fire. I'm like, it's gotta work, it's gotta work. And then some kind of truss, because I love the idea of this looking like it's dropped. Getting these front wheels in place and having that attachment point representing the line of this thing, that's when it all comes together. What the heck is wrong with those guys? You know, we're coming from the back, we're building forward. It's gonna be a little doing to get that front attached, but this is the critical thing, our spine. We want it to flow through. Back it again. Thing is home. I'm gonna blast a nice weld on that.
Don't try this at home, kids. Actually, do try this at home. That's the whole point of this place.
That is so silly. I was worried that it was gonna want to go up on one tire or something, but nope.
No, it's sitting stationary. I like the angle that you put in too.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, dude, sitting in here, it's nuts. That's all I can say, it's nuts. All of the things that are hot rod, or this checks all boxes, and sketchy is one of them.
I think tomorrow, let's get this rack made for the seat and the foot pegs and put some handlebars on it.
Yeah, I'm good with that, absolutely.
We're definitely on the right path. Eric and I have a few things to nail down before he hits the trail and heads home. I was working on this seat mount tube. This is the last of those rolls, so we're gonna use all of it. This will attach to the torsion housing, hanging down. And then, depending on our angle, if we wanna be sitting upright, we can leave it like this, or we can kind of play with it, right? We could be reclined. I mean, that's like super reclined, right? Figure out where we wanna sit, and then make the braces across to mount the seat. I feel like we're really on a good path here, but there's a lot of in-betweens that haven't been figured out yet. So I tell Eric, got any wild ideas? Time to throw it out now.
Headlight bucket. I was
Looks
eating
like a
crackers.
goldfish.
Yeah, I was eating crackers at the time, okay? Don't judge me, all right? I can sheet metal around it. We can inset this, sheet metal around it, and just kind of get it down
So the
here.
rider is like in a little pod, like a carnival ride or
that way the
something.
headlight's not above or anything. It's
Foot
not
pegs,
forks or
headlight.
nothing. It's just there.
Eric is preaching to the choir here. You know how I love the circus freak show. Yeah, because if you had, sometimes you see like a tall bike with the headlight on top and it looks like a cyclops, all weird.
I'm still in the notion that lower is better. Just low, 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 you know?
I'm open to whatever, dude. Make it happen.
Groovy.
Eric and I took a look at the seat and we debated the good, the bad, and the ugly before we fit it in place.
I like this. It's like you're in the mouth of a monster.
Yeah, I'll do the structure action on this, and I'm excited to see what you're doing with that goldfish.
Yeah, same here.
Eric works in the same vein as I do. You know, you just get some pieces, you start thinking about it, and just develop it, you know, pretty organic. Yeah, so the bars are here, right? And you're riding it like that.
Yep, we'll keep this nice and low, because up here, it'll start to take away from all that. No pain, no gain, buddy.
That works. It's kooky, but it works. The pod doesn't look like it's that far out either.
No.
I was having trouble because it looked like just too heavy, but those bars make it all, you're like in a little capsule. You're in the cockpit.
Yep.
I'm super stoked. I mean, we got a solid mock-up, man. There's a million things that need to be figured out, but this is the concept. It looks good. This thing is bare bones. You know, it's a rail at heart, and so much of the things I love about vehicles is the look of the exhaust, and Just looks like a stock Volkswagen engine. We gotta spice it up somehow. I ordered all of these exhaust parts from Speedway. They have these mandrel bend kits. You can splice it anywhere. You got straight, you got 180, and you got 90 bend all in one part number. And then of course, what cartoon creation would not be complete without the 24-inch megaphone? Should make plenty of noise. I went rummaging through my parts stash and I found some flanges from an old VW exhaust system, and that's where this story starts. I hate the backpack effect you get when you do this style VW, so I'm trying to tuck all the business as close to the tires as possible. I always loved the real old sand buggy style that came over the top of the center of the engine. So that's kind of like a aesthetic, proportional thing for me. All right, so this is where it starts to get complicated or interesting. We got 4 pipes. We want 8 outlets. Where do we split? What are we trying to achieve here? That's right, I said 8 outlets. Maybe asking yourself, why 8? I don't know. So the next 2, you want absolute nonsense? You've come to the right spot. Perhaps you're starting to figure out that I don't have things figured out before I start building. If not, stay tuned. I'm sure you'll be convinced shortly. Something about this bike is telling me minimal. I thought I was gonna go elaborate, like a bouquet, but even 4 right now is too much. Right, that's pretty deluxe. It's the age-old quandary, you know, how many exhaust megaphones does the VW engine actually need? It's something that many great philosophers have considered, and now we find ourselves in the same situation. Quite frankly, Mr. Shankly, this is all it needs. Believe it or not, I do have a voice of reason in my head. It's just typically drowned out by all the other voices. There's 3 backbones on the Trike. There's 3 sides to every story. I always say it, you know it when you see it. Just setting these 3 in place, I mean, that's the look. I'll make a collector 4 into 3. We got the tubes mocked up from the cylinder heads. We got the exhaust tips in place. The next thing is to just create a collector, something that brings it all together so the exhaust flows. Not too much, not too little. Somewhere in the middle. Once I got the exhaust in place, I was seeing a few things right away that needed to happen. Love the design Eric and I came up with, but I felt like it would look a little bit better tying in more with the engine on this rear backbone, the 3rd part. So I just dropped this back in a little bit more of a graceful arch. Ultimately, it'll be supported, triangulated. If you look at the old design, these arches, they're kind of falling ahead of the tire when the rear one came around. But now it's as if that rear one goes right into the axle line, which I feel is better. So I accomplished 2 things. I think it looks a little more graceful, and this cool spun aluminum tank can go right in there. Got this darling little unit from Speedway. So the main thing was, fits our space perfectly. So this thing looks like it should be flying down the salt flats into outer space. I feel like the gas tank didn't need a lot of flair, you know? For this, the chassis is the big element, so maybe we just getting something shiny just behind the seating position, it works. All right, with that buttoned up in the fuel tank, there's just one more crossbar for the seat to go on. It goes without saying, we don't want that seat coming off, so. I got an idea for the front of this. There's 2 things that are bugging me. One is this. And then this. Needs some improvement as well. This is all part of my standard procedure, you know, you put it together, thin it out, build, rinse, repeat until something emerges from the ashes. You're heading down the road, I mean, there could be piglets, chickens, crows. You never know, but it's all coming for you. Come on, world, give me some. Send that sand off the tires right into my face. Farm animals aside, the big issue I'm seeing is with the front fork. So the way that front of that switchback, you know, it dives gracefully down to the tires, and these 2, they just kind of end. I feel like this should come forward as well. Been messing around with the design for the second fork, the addition, and I think it's in the ballpark. I like that. I think towards the top, it just needs a little bit of a curve. I think I'm gonna curve that tube backwards a little bit. Move ahead. Ooh. That does two things. It makes it weird, and it makes it strong. Two of a kind. Yeah, now the chassis, the arches are all kind of doing their same thing. Showtime, right? My head's spinning. It's still got to steer. Everything behind the rider looks okay, but yeah, you're gonna need something. So how do we link it from there to there in a tasteful way? Time has come to face the Pied Piper. If this thing doesn't steer, it's a no-go. It's time to make it happen. So these are VW spindles. Problem I was gonna have, these tires are independent, right? What are they doing? They're all over the place. So I made a tiny little tie rod. You go right in here, just like on your car. So you wanna turn right? Both tires turn right. You wanna turn left? Both tires turn left. From way over there, how do you get those tires to do what you want, right? Just as an experiment, I had these two cables, and you know, they're controlled cables, right? They're about 90 inches long, and it will push-pull through any type of shape, a pretzel shape, anything. This will follow the graceful curve of that chassis. So if my theory is correct, the handlebars will be very much like a motorcycle in that they will turn like this, pushing and pulling these cables independently. This is all part of the grand experiment. So that's gonna pass through there. And I set up this little landing point here, just temporary, see if it's gonna work out. And you can see how undersized this hardware is. But this is what I'm working with right now. If the theory works, order two cables that are rated for this type of activity. Just for mock-up, one of my favorite tools in the arsenal, the old zip tie. Now I can put two tabs up here to secure this. It appears to work. Hey, I'm just as surprised as anyone, but as a wise man once said, we ain't out of the woods yet. I curved these tubes, just like the rest of the tubes on the bike, a little more arch in it. This design is all just from a long experience in parts gathering, you know, using what you got. Hey, I had this cool fitting from a piece of a 4-link suspension, fits the bill. I keep going back to this kind of chopper flavor, right? Just stripped down. I just got a thing for that wheelie popping bikers from outer space vibe, you know? Space pirates. It's a novel I'm currently working on, and this will be one of the main characters' rides, yes. Wheelie popping bikers from outer space. It's where the cable snaps. Or maybe it doesn't. Oh, Magoo, you've done it again. I don't mean to seem alarmed, but it's getting really close to a test drive. This is what I was looking for, you know? It's not what I expected in the beginning, but man, I am satisfied. It's exactly where we need to be. Steering theory is proven. I got a couple little things to wrap up, and you know, the great unknown is what's it gonna do out on the road? Paint it, drive it. All right, got this thing out to the UFO testing grounds. It is wired up, it is fired up. It's time to give it the shakedown run. All I could say is, let's roll the dice. This is one heck of a journey, you know, it's just an idea, some kind of fantasy concept, more art than transportation, and to see it 3D right in front of me, I'm stoked. It's got a brake, it's a master cylinder under the seat here, the clutch, your typical Volkswagen cable clutch. Shifter comes out of the side, kind of like an old jockey shift. Had no room for a speedometer, so I installed these tassels, lets you know exactly how fast you're going. It looks fast sitting still. Look at that thing, it's already in motion. with this machine, I will be the envy of any playground in the world. My favorite thing about it is the stance. You got your cartoon mega wide tires in the back. You got some weird thing going on with the front tires. Totally 70s, right? And then the fact that there's no motorcycle frame between your legs, it's like over there. Yes. Little Daddy Roth did not disappoint. He said he was going to the lab. He's gonna mix up a full custom color. This thing's got some effects. Brought in my wife, Jamie, to paint this thing.
I'm thinking flake, and then some more flake, and then just flake.
You've got the 3 food groups covered. Great minds think alike. The Roth Flake, I've never seen rattle can effect with that much pop. Blue Demon, that's its name. Like some of the great luchadors from the past. This is something a super villain would drive. What more do you need? It looks impossible. I think mission accomplished there. But is it possible? It's time to drive it. It's alive! It's alive! This could be my last proverbial ride. So here we go. Fires right up. Get that thing into gear, let out the clutch, and Eric and I chose to make the rider position super cramped up, like a thoroughbred jockey, right? This guy is tucked in there. He's going someplace, and he's just fully compact. This is why I fell in love with hot rods, with choppers, that type of thing. It's just like, whoa, you're out there. You got this rowdy machine, and you're hurtling through space. It's freedom, baby. It's wide open. My big concern from the start was that cable steering. Those cables I just had laying here, they steer fine. Takes huge, wide U-turns, but it works. I could see going through the drive-thru, grab a burger. I don't know where you put it. There's no cup holder, that type of thing, but, really be an attention getter.